So,
The Invincible universe would have to be the worst world. To live in, right?
The Boys is pretty bad.
But still, the Boys is like you've got your entertainment, and it's like there's a lot of people who
Invincible is just proper just annihilation all the time.
there hasn't been a city flattened yet in the Boys.
Well, no one's powerful enough, I guess, to do
That's
that.
what I mean.
Yeah.
But Invincible,
Speaking of the Boys, welcome back.
that's a great start.
Yeah. Welcome back
Welcome back.
And today we are recapping. We'll be starting with the Boys, and then we'll hit Invincible. Put the intro there. Okay, episode 3
Of the Boys.
of The Boys came out this week, and we had some fucking wild shit happen.
Some things
man.
happened.
Yeah.
So as you predicted from the last episode of The Boys, I thought that Homelander was going to fly away and be like a wreck about Soldier Boy dying. But no, you were right where it just starts with he's there.
Yeah.
So Homelander took 2 steps and went, oh, like he's alive.
Yeah. They weren't gonna drag that out. Like I said, we already knew Jensen Ackles was gonna be in further scenes. It was Jared and all the rest of it. So there was no way that Soldier Boy was dying there.
Yeah.
But they pretty much opened
With him getting the medal.
Yeah, he got
something.
the medal, and they spun the story how he was in Russia and doing some covert missions and whatnot. And he got medaled.
How funny is it watching them do this shit where it's like the same with AI and they flip the script like he was doing covert actions in Russia and you're like, how much of this stuff would happen in our real world?
Every day.
Every day.
No, like,
all these stories you see of like, you know, the cops killing this dude and you're like, maybe that dude had the secrets that they didn't want out.
Yeah, or you hear scientists all the time that get offed randomly or they kill themselves or something like that.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Yeah. Oh, this cancer scientist who found the cure for cancer suddenly died. It's like
He was also a Nazi, they claim, so we had to kill him.
We had to go.
Oh, someone's at the door.
Yeah. Police search warrant.
Yeah, go knock, knock, knock. I had it here. I was like, so during that medal ceremony, I think it's just funny how Homelander always has to make it about him.
Yes. Yeah.
Soldier Boy's up there getting his recognition and his medal, and he just butts in and goes, by the way, he's my dad.
Because this is tying back to like the last couple of episodes where Homelander was getting the shits because
that no one loves him.
That no one loves him, and had A-Train's funeral, and everyone was like praising Jesus and like whatever, and he had the shits because like why aren't they devoted to him like that?
Yeah.
But it's so funny, and he goes, "Yeah, Soldier Boy's my dad," and they're like, everyone's like, "What?"
And Sage is just like,
even for the smartest woman, the smartest person on the planet, and still can't predict this motherfucker, man.
Yeah, she's still catching her off guard.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
So that was cool. We got the return of Ryan this episode.
Yes.
So it opens on.
There's
like Russian soldiers or something. They're storming a house and they're getting picked off one by some soup, and you're like, "Fuck, who's that?" And then it cuts to like the outside, and then Ryan lands, and he's got blood all over him.
I thought that when it showed him, and then the one just got snatched to the roof, I was like, "Is this going to be the introduction of like Jared's character?"
Oh yeah, okay.
Padalecchio, the fuck he says. I was like, "Is that going to be him?"
Yeah.
And then when it landed outside,
I didn't expect Ryan.
I didn't
was
expect
like,
Ryan.
Fuck, he's back. I sort of forgot what happened to him, and he wasn't really like he had no part in the first 2 episodes, so I was surprised to see him come back.
Yeah.
But, he's a good actor, that kid.
Fuck yeah.
So this whole episode is sort of centric around V1.
Yeah.
And the premise of V1.
The hunt for V1.
So we learned what V1 is, and it was Dr. Vort's original.
Untested.
It was.
Oh no, it was tested.
It was extremely tested and just extremely unstable and not
unsanctioned.
Safe. Yeah.
Unsanctioned.
I think they said there was like 5,000 test subjects and like 5 survived, and one being Soldier Boy, another being Stormfront.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why Soldier Boy didn't die from the virus. They said that V1 essentially makes them immortal.
Soldier Boy hasn't aged. It's like the 60s.
Yeah, correct. And they can't kill him. No matter what they do, they can't put him down.
Yeah.
So that made you think, obviously, well, is Homelander immortal? Is Homelander, because he's his son, right?
Yeah.
But then we learned...
Which they answered very briefly.
Very, very quickly they answered that Homelander was made with the modern version of V, and therefore isn't immortal.
Into the embryos or whatever.
Yeah.
And straight away Homelander goes, "Give me V1."
Yeah.
And they're like, "It doesn't exist."
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.
And then I called it. The voice was Madeline. Last week,
bro.
I said the voice was Madeline.
What voice? Oh, right. Yeah, I was wigging out. I still couldn't understand that until right now. I didn't get that. But
That
was
because
crazy.
last episode when she's like, "My boy," and then you were like, "It's probably his mum," and I was like, "Nah, I think it's Madeline."
Yeah.
And then she appears.
That was crazy. Just
He's on the ground like,
bro, and she just gets her tits out. Man, that
gives
was
him a
fucked.
milking.
Okay, it's funny, and Eric Kripke said this as well. It's funny that this episode and that scene released 2 days after Trump posted the
Picture
AI
of him being
as Jesus. Yeah, man. Did you see what Iran posted back? It was like an AI. They AI'd it. And then it was that image, but then it was actual Jesus came and punched Trump's head off. Like, bro, what the fuck? But even Eric, he came out and was like, can the world just like give us 2 seconds to release something that's satire? Because now it's not. Because now it's real. Like, this actually happened.
Yeah, and like if you didn't, like if you're behind on The Boys or you watch this a few years later, you're going to think, they're making fun of Trump being Jesus.
No. Trump
that
happened
was first.
Yeah, this was written first and Trump just happened to have done it.
Do you reckon he saw it and went, that's a great idea? And no, actually, he wouldn't have. He would have just been like, I am Jesus.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But we're moving on from that.
Yeah. Do you reckon that he's hallucinating like Butcher was when he was seeing Beck and Kessler last season?
No, because...
Or
No.
he's just psychotic.
Butcher was hallucinating because of the cancer. And he was dying. Homelander's just a lunatic. And he just mentally, his psyche is breaking. Like, everything compounds onto it. So he's with Soldier Boy, and Soldier Boy turns around and was like, fuck you, bro. Like, you knew the virus was out there. You sent me, you didn't tell me nothing. And he says here the words, you're the softest, wettest boy. Which is just a weird sentence. And then
such a sting, though.
Such a weird sentence. And then he says, you're nothing at all. So it's just pushing Homelander further. He wants the approval, obviously, of these people around him, and like
many times this season, he has been called weak, pathetic, soft. Like A-Train called him, Huey called him, Butcher's called him consistently.
They're scared of him, but no one like respects him.
Yeah,
or like that. You can be scared of someone and still have respect for them, but they're scared of him because he's nuts. But they're like, you're still nothing. Like, even A-Train said, he goes, what was I scared of? Yeah. He goes, what was I scared of? Like, you're nothing. Like, and it's just pushing Homelander further and further. But we get the return of Mr. Stan Edgar.
The best character.
This was excellent, wasn't it?
Simply a bad product.
And he already knew everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Nothing was, he knew about
that
V1.
Was so funny how when they turned up and then they're like, and he's like, why are you here? And they're like, maybe because, and he goes, so you're not about the Butcher, so you're not about the virus that Butcher released on Soldier Boy and Rockhard, and now Rockhard's dead and Soldier Boy's back, and you're thinking, fuck, now they have a thing, and they just went, yeah, that's why we are here.
Yeah, he knows everything. Yeah. And we get...
he's in that fucking bunker.
Yeah. They take him to the bunker, and we get... we see Maverick, Translucent stuff. So he's from Gen V. Huey's super fucking awkward around him because he killed Translucent, but Edgar sort of...
Oh, yeah, how he's like, Homelander killed my dad, and Edgar's just like...
Yeah.
Like across the room, like...
just like... just... And Huey's like,
he's staring Huey down.
A few moments when Huey's like, you got to get over it, bro, and like, just move on. And Starlight comes, like, she's like, what are you doing? Just fucking leave it alone, bro.
Stop talking to him.
Just avoid the motherfucker, bro. Yeah. And because he's invisible, like, Huey'd be like stressing, like, where is this motherfucker?
Well, that was when like my first thought was when she goes, Huey, can I talk to you for a second? And she's like, starts talking about like you killed
like
his
6
dad.
feet that way.
I'm like, bro, he's fucking invisible. He could have just taken his glasses off and come and stood next to you. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Oh man.
Like, of course, fucking Deep drives a Cybertruck, eh?
Of course, the Deep has a Cybertruck. I
My
literally
exact
write that.
words, yeah.
I literally write that there.
When you saw it driving on screen, did you think that'll be the Deep?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I saw it and
no
I went,
hesitation.
I saw it and I laughed and I went, who the fuck has a Cybertruck? And then it cut and I went, that's who.
Of course. My first words was, of course, the Deep has a Cybertruck.
Of course.
It was funny in that because he gets the shits because the psychic, or whatever, I don't know what her name is, the bald bitch.
Yeah.
And she can blow people up.
Yeah.
And she goes, like, he's like, why are you guys tagging along? And she's like, Homelander asked me himself. And Deep's like, getting real mad. Like,
yeah, he's like, he asked me personally.
Yeah. He's like, fuck. So they find the hideout.
Yeah.
And they try to get in. We get
because they followed Frenchie and shit back. Like
no. they had.
Oh no, because Frenchie didn't go there.
no,
Yeah.
Frenchie and Kimiko left to go back and get the virus or do something back there. They have the dude, and he's from a few shows, but he's the tracker. He could sniff them out.
Oh,
Could
yeah,
smell them,
yeah,
and track
yeah,
track
that's
them
right.
down. We get the return of Zoe. With
Yeah.
the snakes out of her
Yeah.
mouth, but she talks to Ryan and is still in contact with Ryan.
Yeah.
Um,
It's funny how it's almost like they're building like a Young Avengers kind of thing. They were with like Zoe
the most
and
horrible
Ryan.
people
and,
ever.
Yeah.
She has a horrible power. Those snakes that come out of her mouth, it's fucking gross.
yeah.
And then Butcher sees Ryan. We get that scene, and he's like, "I want you to help me kill Homelander." And Ryan's like, "Yeah, right." Sort of thinking about it.
Yeah. And then like the chat with them in the pub was good. Butcher goes like, "You're not a kid anymore, and I'm gonna stop treating you like
Yeah,
that."
yeah.
Homelander raped your mother.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like because it was good to see Butcher was always nurturing and trying to protect Ryan, but also trying to be like he's a bad man, but couldn't tell him because he didn't want. Now to see him just go, "You're not a kid anymore. I'm gonna just."
And he pretty much says to Ryan, like, "This is a sacrifice play.
Yeah.
Like you won't survive this." And
Yeah.
Ryan, I think largely why Ryan agrees is because he says it himself. He goes, I don't want
He's
to turn out.
worried.
Yeah, I don't want to turn out like Homelander. You know, like he's
Because he killed his mom and he killed that Grace from
killed
the
Grace Mallory.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pushed her against the wall and shit. I like how he pushes Butcher and Butcher doesn't move.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, you know, like a good shot, but it doesn't work anymore,"
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And Ryan was like,
Ryan agrees to help have a trap for Homelander and sort of bait him out.
yeah.
Where Homelander calls Soldier Boy,
Oh, and he's sleeping.
and he's in the
milk.
bath of milk, man. And then he just steps up, and Soldier Boy's like, "You fucking freak, man!" Like
Soldier Boy hates him so
he hates
much.
him
eh?
so much, man.
He even said to he said to someone, he's like, he's so
Firecracker.
weird. He's like, he's so weird.
Soldier Boy sleeps with Firecracker.
That's right,
And,
yeah.
and he goes, "You've slept with Homelander, right?" And she's like, "Nah." And he goes, "Oh, that's sort of the only reason I slept with you."
and she was kind of like, oh, me too.
Yeah.
Like she said some comment to be like, yeah, me too.
To get at Homelander.
Yeah.
That's why she did it. But yeah, Soldier Boy hates him. Thinks
So
he's
much.
super weird. But he just stands up in the bath and like we've seen this before, obviously. But it always sort of takes me aback. Like his suit has so much muscle. It's a muscle
He's
suit.
just a
right?
flabby dude.
He's just skinny, scrawny. Not scrawny, but just a normal dude. Like
Just an average
yeah,
physique.
yeah, which makes sense. Obviously,
Yeah.
if you have those powers, you don't work out. So,
No. And then like they raid the bunker.
of course, Stan blocks him off.
Yeah.
But then he gets nabbed by Noah straight
Yeah.
away. And my first
And Huey's
thought-
like, oh, I knew about karma, but that was quick. It was nothing like that. Yeah.
yeah.
But how smart Edgar turns off all the power, so then Starlight has no powers as
Yeah,
well.
no,
like
which
he's
is- poor bitch, poor bitch.
bro, Edgar's next level.
So the last episode we talked about how I thought Noir wasn't the same Noir as we saw previously, like the actor, the black dude.
Yeah.
And I thought when Noir grabbed Stan here that maybe Noir was replaced by Stan as like but I don't think that's the case because there was.
You thought he was like an agent to get rid of him or something.
That's how how deep we went here. Because Noir's not talking the whole last season. He wouldn't shut up,
Yeah.
and now he won't talk. So like I
I
said
think
last time,
Homelander's ripped his tongue out
ripped
or
his tongue out,
something.
which
yeah.
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So we get Zoe. She stows away with Kimiko and Frenchie to she
that
wants
was-
to kill Butcher.
That was a tough watch. That scene.
And she finds a dad because she was told that Butcher, she thought Butcher might have killed her dad because Butcher killed her
But
mum.
each other thought that they were dead.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then they see each other and we get the reunion. That was cool.
When he's like, Zoe, and shake and puts the glasses on.
And
I'm like,
Frenchie wasn't going to let them leave, and Kimiko pretty much says we need to let them leave. Then they left. Then they left.
Then Butcher was about to shred Kimiko for that.
Yeah, and Frenchie's like, if you do it, I won't make the virus.
Yeah.
And Butcher's just like, motherfucker.
And yeah, obviously they smash the virus and
Oh,
leave.
yes,
And
yes.
now they're fucked because Ryan was like, oh, I'll go fight him then. And Butcher's like, no. And then he's like, but like you said, I could handle it. And he's like, well, you fucking can't. And then
Yeah, I
Ryan
was
just-
lying. Yeah, you can't handle this. Like,
Yeah. Which again, Butcher was just playing him because he just
He
needed him to get
bait
him out. Yeah.
Then we get Huey gets fucked up by Maverick.
Yeah,
finally,
yeah.
Because Maverick hears that Huey killed his dad.
He doesn't hear. He fucking deep told him
told him.
directly to his face.
He's like, come on, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like, Homelander killed my dad.
Come
He
on,
goes,
come on, bro.
No, he didn't. Huey killed your dad. He's like, oh. here's the code. And then
And
look
then
at
on the security camera footage, they're like, does Deep look like he's talking to an invisible man? And then you watch the buttons go beep, 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 beep. And then...
They're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, they're like, fuck.
yeah. And then so
Who
Huey
didn't
gets his,
see that coming,
Huey
though?
gets his ass beat by him because he can't see him, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the psychic chick blows him up, Maverick, which I was surprised.
Well, I was like, what the fuck? But I then think what happened is Huey was on the floor, psychic chick come in, and she's gone to do it to Huey, but Translucent's son, Maverick, was standing in front of Huey.
Yeah, so do you...
But she didn't know that he was there, so...
So it's like a line of sight thing.
Maybe.
So like...
She's gone and just gone boom, and it's...
But Maverick was in front of him, and she didn't know.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the powers have hit Maverick first.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, because... the way her power hasn't been explained, but I thought it was like a Newman thing where the blood, like she
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not that. She maybe she sends like some sort of microwave out and just explodes something, or
Yeah.
But obviously, Maverick got in the way
Because at the end of the day, she was a sniper, so it's a line of sight thing.
that's a good point.
So-
yeah, and then Starlight just snaps her neck.
And that's what I mean, like, because by the time she went boom and went, oh, he's still there, snap.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And then we get the sort of the ending here where Riot and
Invincible
Homelander-
season 1.
Bro, I knew it wasn't, because you said it might have been Stan that he was going to beat to death.
But then it
last
didn't
week.
make sense for it to be Stan
No.
because Stan would have died in one
And
hit.
then we thought the Deep, but then we're like, oh, maybe not the Deep. I think Ryan was
very theorized because people like the emotion in his eyes looks like he doesn't want to do it.
well, it was either Ryan or Soldier Boy, I feel.
Yeah.
But then it was established that Soldier Boy might be more powerful than
He'd
Homelander at this
fucking
stage.
lay him out.
Yeah. So yeah, Ryan calls him and there's me, and then Ryan's like, "Tell me the truth. Did you rape my mum?"
Yeah.
And Homelander's, no, she enjoyed it, or no, it was an affair.
Yeah, he said because I watched his story started cracking where he was like, it was an affair, and as Ryan pushed him, he's like, oh, she gave consent, and then the next one it's like, oh, but she enjoyed it, and like so it was slowly being like, oh,
sort of admitting, and then
actually,
yeah, and then Ryan lasers him, and Homelander's like, oh, okay, like I'll give you that one or something like that, and then they just get into it, and yeah, we just get Omni-Man smacking. Boom.
Homelander literally said, look
after the
what
other.
you made me do.
Yeah.
I was like, he has said the exact line that Omni-Man was saying.
That's intentional.
It was intentional.
That's intentional.
And he made me do.
Think, Ryan, think. In 500 years, what will you have? That was cool. And then we end up in Butcher. Butcher finds him, and I don't think Ryan's dead.
He's not dead.
They're not going to kill him.
He's going to come back super fucking angry, though.
He looked significantly better than I thought he would have. I thought his head was going to be like... I was expecting Invincible level maiming there. We end there with Homelander gets Edgar.
Deep bringing him Edgar to him.
Yeah, so that was the episode. It was, look, not as good as the last episode, I feel. It was really good. I enjoyed it. The V1 stuff. Obviously, they talk about...
Well, they're headed to that army base now where they think that Vought did the original testing. So there's a theory now floating around that people think Stormfront is Homelander's mum.
That was been around for a while.
Yeah.
Because in the comics, Stormfront is a male.
Yes.
And Homelander's father, I think, it wasn't Soldier Boy, because Soldier Boy is a different character in the comics.
The theory's now tacking on harder because when they were explaining the superhero names, they're like Stormfront. He looks at
He's like, who's
Soldier
that?
Boy and goes,
you know, there's Lady Liberty.
yeah. And he kind of went,
Yeah. But they said his mum was just someone they grabbed off the street or something like that, just a random woman, and took her embryo. But I feel like it will be Stormfront.
there's enough fucking lies floating around that place.
I reckon it will be Stormfront.
And they wouldn't have wanted to told Homelander that because imagine the fucking attachment issues he would have got then from her. So.
Yeah.
All right, so with Invincible, that episode was in probably my top 2 or 3 episodes of Invincible of all time.
Yeah, so we missed last week's episode because we ran out of time. I ran out of time to finish the editing and release it before episode 7 came out. So we missed last week's, but this week is too good to miss.
I hope all of you on the internet are apologizing to Thragg for not having aura and being a fraud.
Yeah.
Because the man just showed he is not.
Oh my God, this episode is incredible. Probably my favorite episode of Invincible so far.
Aside from season 1, last 2 episodes of season 1, this would be my favorite episode. So they've turned up at Viltrum, and when they're flying through all the dead bodies, they're like, we'll jump him. And he's just waiting there like...
I knew straight away there was going to be an ambush of some sort because there's some Viltrumites hiding in the ring there.
But it was so smart. They're just like this.
Yeah.
And they're like just
It's just playing dead.
Yeah.
And you see Thragg, he's just sitting in front of Viltrum.
like this, just waiting.
And he just doesn't move the whole time. And they're like, all right, we'll attack him, we'll go.
Yeah.
And he doesn't move. And the other Viltrumites, like Anissa shows up, Lucan shows up, a bunch of other ones show up, and they just start. There's just a big brawl starts happening.
He didn't even move when Space Laser turned up.
So
and the laser went past his fucking nose.
Space Racer shoots, and it just. And he didn't even blink or even look in his direction. He just.
Was so badass.
There's a point in this where Battle Beast tries to get a lick in.
Yeah.
And he just says no. And just whacks his thing off his mask of his face where he can breathe through him, crushes his jetpack and just throws him. He just says no. And just throws him out of the fucking way. So they use all the things they collected against the Viltrumites. They had the poison darts.
Zoe had the darts.
She had the darts, which weakened them to a point where Alan could just put his fist through them.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
That was cool. On the point of Zoe, I don't know why she's here. She Tech Jacket is the most useless fucking person on this team. She almost dies every time she goes. Like they almost die every time they fight the Viltrumites.
But Zoe specifically,
But
almost.
yeah, she can't hold her own. I don't understand why they even brought her. To be
I had
honest with
here.
you.
I've written a list of Tech Jacket's highlight reel.
Oh, okay, yep. Here we go.
The top one is Saving Space Racer.
Yeah, I thought he was dying there.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's like the only thing of note she's done. Because if Space Racer died, they would have arguably been. At that point of the episode, you didn't know what was coming.
Yeah.
But you were like, if Space Racer died, they would have been in a lot of fucking trouble.
Yeah.
He's just tapping them, mate.
They bring in those red alien...
The Ragnars.
The Ragnars.
That for some reason, as soon as the sun's covered, they freeze, but they can survive
in the vacuum of space. Yeah. But whatever, I'll give them that one. Maybe the collars they had on were heating them up or something.
They don't get frozen in space, noted.
But the real point of talk starts when Nolan decides to attack Thragg. And Nolan's coming in and Thragg...
With so much heat.
He just scoots back a touch. just scoots back like 2 inches and then hits him so fucking hard into the planet. He just knocks him straight into the planet and then comes down to have a chat with him.
But it was so much disrespect because he didn't do one of these ones. He didn't. He just his whole body. The frame was the feet moving.
Yeah, he just scooted back in the air. Yeah. And then just fucking whacks Nolan.
But by the time Nolan looks at where he went, he's like, boom.
Yeah. So Thragg was. So he's talking to Thragg and Thragg's. Nolan and he's like, if you come back, I'll forgive you.
Yeah. But I like how he called him old friend and all that.
Yeah. They've known each other for a long time, and before the last 20 years, they were friends technically.
They were allies. Yeah.
And he says, "Come back." He goes, "If you come back, your sons will be fine. Like I'll forgive, all is forgiven." He goes, "Thetis wants to kill you anyway." Which Nolan recognizes. You know, if Thetis wants to wipe out all the Viltrumites, he says that includes my sons. You know, so. But Nolan's like, I'll deal with that after. That's tomorrow's problem. This is my problem right now. So Nolan rejects him, and then we get the most epic display of power from Thragg, where he winds up this punch, and he pretty much turns into Aang, the last fucking airbender, and creates a vortex from the power of this punch. Before he even hit, he's not even moving. He's just winding up.
You even see Nolan's face go, fuck. And then you see him go...
Bro, he just hits him.
But it's worth noting, Nolan stood on the outer rim of a black hole and got sucked in and then turned and flew away.
Nolan isn't no pushover.
Yeah.
And Thragg hits him so fucking hard that 2 minutes later, Nolan's still flying through space.
But
from that
tidal waves on the planet. It shows the shot and the waves just go...
And at this point, you go, how do they beat him?
Yeah.
How do they... The only way I was thinking was one of Zoe's darts. Bro, we haven't seen anyone do that level to fucking Omni-Man too. He ain't no...
And that's what I was going to say, is it really is a testament to how powerful Nolan is that he survived 2 of those hits.
Yeah, man, fuck. And then because then you pan to other... I think
just the shot of him flying into space, meteor fucking flame appearing. Then he hits another Viltrumite, knocks that dude, and he kept going.
And then Thragg returns to space, and Oliver decides he's going to square up to him. which Oliver just needs to stop.
They literally said to him so many times, do not go and
Yeah.
fight Thragg on your own.
Thragg grabs him and he's like, he says something along the lines of like,
Oliver's
you're not one
flying-
of us or something like that. Because
Oliver's flying in and he goes, hey, dickhead, the black hole called. They want their suck back. And then off with your jaw.
oh man, and rips his arm, like catches the punch, breaks his hand, rips his arm off, rips his jaw off.
He said like, yeah, you're not one of us or something.
Bro, and you're like, Oliver just like, stop fighting in these Viltrumites, bro. You just need to be back up.
And then when Mark's like, I killed Conquest, and that nice foreshadow from Alyssa, where she's like,
Anissa, yeah. He goes, I'll kill Conquest, I'll kill you too. And then Thragg's like, come and give it a go.
me.
Yeah, show me. And Mark's giving everything. He's coming as fast
how
as
good
he
was
can.
that animation of Mark coming in as well?
Bro, and then he just hits him on the head. And Thragg doesn't move.
No, Thragg moved. He did this. Like he leant into the punch.
Yeah. And just bang, just fucking meets him head on. And then you get a flash of like a demon face.
Demon and
Bro,
shit. Like.
that was wild. And you see Mark go,
Mark pulls back and he's like, I'm not impressed.
yeah.
He smacks the
He
fuck
smacks
out
That's
of him.
what happens, yeah.
Yeah, Mark comes in for some combos and he grabs him and bitch slaps him. And you watch Mark get terminal. Like, Thragg is smacking people so hard. He's creating wind in space.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's not even like exerting much effort. Like he's just fucking.
he did this to Mark. He just went.
Yeah, it just knocks him off. And then Nolan has an idea.
It had to be a pre-planned idea though, right? Because Thaddeus was already on board with it. He went.
I think that Thaddeus recognized what he was doing.
But not Tech Jacket, Space Racer.
Well, they must have, because they can communicate mentally, so they must have like not on screen sort of explain, because Mark didn't realize what was happening. The impression I got was Nolan only got this idea after speaking with Thragg and understanding that Thragg still loves this planet.
Yes.
And will do anything to keep. Like they're fighting for their planet. That's what they're doing, right? So I feel like there was sort of this would be the way to do it.
And that's the thing that I've loved about Thragg from the start. He's not that villain that's like Conquest, where he's like, I'm going to turn up and fuck everything up. Or like, and people laugh about him carrying the skull around of Argyle, who's also voiced by Megatron.
Oh, was it? I didn't see that. Yeah.
So the voice of Argyle was Megatron.
And Optimus Prime was the betrayer.
Yeah, so they happened.
That's so good.
And it was from the same animated series.
That's so good.
Yeah, so they were literally having beef. And I sat up and I went, why does this sound familiar? And you know how, like, I love on Amazon Prime how you've got X-Ray.
Yes, yeah.
And, like, on the iPad, you can click the X-Ray button and it pulls up the list of all the things they've done. And I'm like, fucking Megatron. I'm like, no way.
Well, that's so good.
But anyway, so, like, yeah, he's carrying around the skull and it shows, like, his love for the planet and the people. And, like... He loves it so much, and even when he saw Space Racer heading, he's like, "No!" and he boom after them, and then knocks all the other Viltrumites off course.
I thought he was going to catch them.
So did I.
He never did. So what happens?
Because he is fast.
What happens here is Space Racer shoots at the planet of Viltrum, and Nolan, Thaddeus, and Mark follow the shot through the center of the planet, and just decimates the entire fucking planet.
But I like when you rewatch it, they are so close behind the laser that when it hit the thing and you watch it hits the ground and then a few seconds later it explodes, then it knocked Thragg back into space. So they were so close to it. They were still following it. That's how they were able to enter.
Yeah, and then Mark's like screaming like from the heat of it and shit like that.
He's flying through the fucking Earth's core. Of course, he's
like. And then you just get the scene, like exit the other side, and the whole planet just starts to implode.
I do have to ask though, like, what was the point of them flying through it? Was to just stop Thragg from?
Well, that's what I thought as well. I thought,
is it just with the gap that's making the hole and then the extra force going through it?
I think it's just because it's been shot, which will still cause damage, but just them coming through.
Because when they came down, they created heat.
It's a shot, right? And that shot isn't... Well, we've seen him shoot... I mean, unless you can change the...
It doesn't blow shit up. It just keeps going.
Right, yeah, but more so, he shoots a person and leaves a hole about this big in someone.
Yeah.
That's... it's a big hole, but it's... it was sort of opened up for the other three to make it bigger and to cause more wreckage.
And also, like, the speed that they were coming down from space, it literally showed them, like, nothing. And then they had red, and then they had a blue fucking meteorite.
Yeah.
So it was, they were bringing all the pressure and the force through the planet.
And then it just fucking explodes, man.
Brilliant animating as well. And I loved on the shots of the planet, you watched the ring of the ring dispersing off. And I was like, that would be killing Thragg.
Well, you see, even all the other Viltrumites, they stop and they're like, oh.
Steve Harvey with a headlock on Alan. He's like...
Yeah, he's like... they're all just stunned, and then...
Everyone's like, holy fuck, that just happened.
Yeah, like, they obviously didn't expect it. And then Thragg loses it.
Well, firstly, Thaddeus is like, let's learn from this and be peace. And then 2 Earth-sized chunks just get pulled apart with a crying Thragg, and you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, and he just rips his head off.
Well, after the display that Thragg had put on versing everyone else with minimal effort and moving, watching the anger and the crying.
They're done.
You're like, uh-oh.
And he just rips his head from his body.
Before Mark had even had a chance to turn and look, he'd gone from there to there and head gone.
Yeah, and he's holding it up.
And then doing that to it.
Just rips his head off. And Thaddeus is probably the strongest Viltrumite there besides Thragg. And then he goes after Nolan, and he's just railing on Nolan. Everyone else escapes. Mark doesn't want to leave Oliver because they don't know where Oliver is.
Yeah, like when he's laying into Nolan, my first thought was, aside from my jaw being fucking on the floor for that entire sequence from them turning up, I thought, he's like, he just ripped his head off clean. Why is he not doing this? And then he goes, I finished him too early. I'm not going to make the same mistake with you. And it's like, oh.
And then Mark comes to help. And then so he's fighting them both. And Mark goes, how do we beat him? How can we beat him? And Nolan's like, no, bro.
He literally turned and he went, Mark, like,
we're done.
Going. And then,
he just gets gutted, man, just straight up. And then he headbutts Mark.
But the way that he's like this, and he just slowly pushes him off his hand, and you could see like the look in his face, like it hurt him more than it did, because he's so passionate about Viltrumite and he loves Viltrum so much. You watched him when he pushed him off. It was kind of like a moment of solace, like, I'm sorry, friend.
Well, exactly. And that leads into the next part where he headbutts Mark holds him fucking hard. Boom. And Mark's eyes are like, oh.
But when it zooms out, they're dots, and this sound wave is just...
Yeah. And he's just eye gouging, and then he doesn't kill him. And he says, like you were just mentioning, he goes, too many of us have died.
Today.
Or our numbers are already so low.
Yeah.
We're not going to kill another Viltrumite. And then they fucking...
Because it was at 40 before that fight started.
30 maybe?
20?
20 of that. And then the Alan and all that, they find Mark and Nolan and Oliver, and Mark's fine, Nolan's fine. Oliver's in a Bacta tank. I think he gets a metal jaw.
Yeah.
I think that's from the comics. Alan's in charge now.
Alan's in charge, and then Mark realizes...
Well, before that, they're like, oh, we don't know where they've gone. And I go, they're on Earth.
I was like, Cecil knows where they are.
I'm like, they're on Earth. And Mark goes, they're on Earth. And I'm like, yep, called it straight away.
I just laughed, thinking, like, Cecil sitting in his control room.
And he's just going to see like 20 Viltrumites rock him. He's like, oh, fuck.
And they're like, sir, that one's bone density is 3 times what Omni-Man's was. And he's like, crashing out in the control room.
Like, he's gonna freak once he realizes.
What the fuck have they done?
But so he's exactly and he probably thinks that Mark and Nolan are dead because who knows, like, they're not there. It's gonna be interesting to
watch the Brit and Shapesmith go up against the...
Immortal is gonna get ripped in half again. The point I wanted to say here was, so Mark was out for 2 weeks recovering.
Yeah.
So the Thragg and co have had 2 weeks to get to Earth, and
they would have gone straight there.
They would have gone straight there, but I don't think they probably weren't going to attack straight away. They're probably going to concoct some plan to exact revenge. And probably try to blow up Earth. So that's where we ended. So next episode we're going to have Mark and Nolan return to
Final
Earth.
episode.
And of the season. Now that was
That was
Invincible
fucking
this week.
sensational.
That was Invincible this week.
The entire episode, I was just like,
Thragg is so cool.
oh.
I like the level. I knew obviously he was stronger than everyone else, but like the degree in which he was stronger is absolutely insane. No, keen. That next episode next week. So that's all for today and for this week's reviews. Excited for the final episode of Invincible. Excited to see where the boys goes. Excited for everything that's coming up.
I want to watch that episode of Invincible the second it drops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Usually I watch them 2 or 3 days later just because my schedule's so busy.
Yeah, I watch everything like that day.
Day of.
Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Next week we'll have the last episode of Invincible, so stay tuned for that. Please subscribe, please like, please
That'll
comment.
probably be an hour-long episode on its own.
Yeah, we're gonna be fucking. Well, unless nothing happens, we never know. Please go follow us on all our socials and to stay up to date with the latest stuff that's happening. Thank you and goodbye.
See ya.